Hi there! I decided to do my first art haul video, and that's because I've been to Berlin for almost a week, and that's the tradition. Every time that I'm abroad, especially if I'm in Berlin, we're quite often in Berlin with my husband. And since I live in Rimini in Italy, it's a quite small town, so there's actually just one little art shop and with the basic stuff. And every time that I travel and I see the big art supply stores, I get crazy. I do order online, obviously, but when I see things and I think, I have to, I have to use this moment that I'm there and I can buy it. And also it's different when you see things. You discover new stuff and you just take it, because maybe sometimes when you order online, you specifically know what you want, but when you're in shop, then you think, oh, that's interesting, maybe I could use it. For example, this one. That's something that I discovered in one of the shops. But first things first, I was in the big two shops. The first one was Bösner. If you're from Germany, then you know it for sure. This is a chain of shops, franchising shops. They're in all Germany, I suppose. I saw them in Berlin, I think maybe 4 or 5 of them. I've been to at least 3 of them, and they're huge. One of them is has 2 levels, and it's like super big magazine. Anyway, every time I get crazy, I lose my mind, if I can say, because if you know, if you're an artist, you know, but even if you have some other hobbies and you're here just for curiosity, my brother, for example, loves fishing, so, when it's your hobby, you love it. So this is huge art haul, so I decided to make a video about it and walk you through the art supplies that I bought. I will divide it probably in 2 or more videos because there are a lot of them. They are mixed media, so not only one kind, but I have different stuff here. So I'll be happy to test it with you. Some of them I already opened, but loads of them not, so I'll be happy to test it with you and it will be exciting, I think. So the other shop was this one. I know there are a lot of shops when you can buy crafts, so this is one of them. It's called Idee or Idea, I'm not sure in German how to pronounce it. And I know they're like modular, I think, or other, I don't remember. There are loads of them, and I'm just always so envy that they have all these shops in Italy. We don't have it, actually. We have maybe private small shops with crafts, but I don't think these franchising shops, they're not available. So they're so cool. You can find their wools, every kind of crafts, papers, cards, notebooks, stuff for collage, I forgot the name. Anyway, all the things that you can do by hands, and it's also huge. And there are also art supplies, so I have some things also here in this bag. Basically, I bought in 2 shops, and also maybe in Flying Tiger. Oh, that's the only shop we have in Italy as well, Flying Tiger. So let's get started. Sorry for this long introduction. I'll try to divide it. Hopefully, I will be able to divide it by themes. So let's start from those bags. Those are also from Bösner. I really love it. I already have one. I have it like 3 years, even if it costs it's cheap. I think this one costed 3 euros, but it's resistant, it's good. I use it to travel, and I bought this one at the beginning, but then I saw the bigger ones and I thought, actually I will buy them, because sometimes this one is not enough when I travel. And here also I can, some of the paints can fit. And most of all, I thought about the brushes. Maybe this one is really long, but even if you have a normal size brushes, and this one is too small, and the brushes get squeezed. I mean, I already ruined some of good brushes actually, because I didn't think of it. That was my fault. So I will have this separate pocket to put whatever I want, so I can try with brushes or something else just to find it immediately. I can use this extra pocket. And also, if you have some tips about how to protect your brushes, let me know when you're traveling. Obviously you have some travel brushes which you can fold or have metallic tip, but how to travel with your regular normal brushes? Let me know in the comments. What are your tips for it? So this is my bag. It's really good. When my friend saw it, she told that she could use it, that she will buy it because she wanted to use it for cosmetics. That's a great tip as well, I think, to travel. It's plastic, so it's waterproof, and it has also 2 divided parts. And it's also very good because often when I travel, I'll show you in my I'll show it, just a second. So that's the one that I used for last 3 years. As you can see, it's still okay. The zip is working. I never had problems with it. But when I travel with all the art supplies inside, for example, if I use crayons, wax crayons, oil pastels, oh my god. I mean, that's my thing. Probably I should have put them in some box, separate box, because they dirty everything which is inside. So every time that I come back, I have every pencils that are dirty. So I will have to find also solution for this one, but one of the solutions could be to divide it, to put here, for example, the things that will dirty, and here the things that will, you know, that are dry and won't dirty. So this is it. And since I opened it, so let's start from the first group, which is printing supplies. I'll just put everything away. One of the techniques that I love to explore are printing supplies. So yeah, just this is another thing that I'm ruined. I mean, I'm ruined because I love every technique, and as you know, art supplies aren't cheap, so it never ends for me, and I always come back with loads and loads of supplies, because once I'm there in the shop, I see what you can buy, and I obviously order also online, but it's not the same. When you go to the shop, you see things that you don't know that they exist, or maybe you feel inspired. When you buy online, it's maybe more focused that, okay, I need this color, this and this and this. And when you go to, and you buy the specific stuff, and then you go to the supply shop and you see all these beautiful things, and I got lost. I really go crazy. So you don't, obviously, if you're different than me, then maybe you will enjoy just a part of the video. I will divide it into themes. Otherwise, if you're like me and you like me to experiment in mixed media, then bear with me as well. And yeah, obviously you don't have to buy all these things at once, but that's just me. Anyway, let's get started with printing. I took those sheets, acrylic sheets. They are not so easy to find for me, so I saw them. They're not so expensive. I think like $2.51, and this is A4, I guess. And I will use it to a dry point technique. Obviously, one can use it also for monoprint, but I bought it specifically for dry point. And what dry point is, I will have to find my... I'll just take off also the rest of the things that I bought for printing. I have to thank to my husband, you know, that he sponsors this video and all this stuff, so thank you. He's incredible. He's incredible, because this stuff wasn't cheap at all. But sorry, I just get lost with my conversation. This one is a needle that you use for printing, and it could be for... I will use it for dry point, but also you can use it for etching with the copper plate. So I'm not super expert in printing. I did some workshops as a student. I learned something, but still some things, some terms and definitions I can be confused. But you use it to usually with a copper plate or, you know, some other printing techniques, but you can use it as a dry point also on the acrylic sheets. So basically I will curve out my drawing in it, and then with a printing ink I will print my image. But that's the subject for other classes. So I have those ones. Then I have jelly plate. Most of all probably know it already. So I already had a jelly plate. I bought it a couple of years ago, but I actually never use it because I'm not super happy with it, because it's white. I don't know, there are maybe different kinds of jelly plate. I always thought there's just one translucent one, and the one that I bought on Amazon, it arrived and it was opaque, it was white. And I'm not happy because I think it repels too much. So I'm not super happy with the mono printing results. And I always watch the tutorials and I love the results, and people usually use this translucent one. So I'm not expert. I will see if there's any difference. I hope so. It's very expensive, so for now I bought this smaller 20 per 25 centimeters. I'll test the smaller one for now. It costed, I think, I don't remember, 35 euros, something like that. Actually, I have no idea why they're so expensive. Anyway, it's translucent, as you can see. There's also this protective film, but it's translucent, and I think it's also cool because if you have a drawing underneath that you want to copy, then you can actually see it. You can put it under your plate. So I cannot wait to test it. I have this one, which is the plate for printing for ink. I'm not sure if it's for how do you say, to spread your ink, to roll up your ink, or is it also for something else? I think that it may be something to do with screen printing, but anyway, it costed just 2 euros, so I took it. I usually roll up the ink on the glass plate, so I'm happy to check it out. And about rolling the ink, I bought rollers. Yep, And this one is like super professional, and it costed, I think those two costed the same money. And though this is like middle, I think middle quality, so I decided to try this one, super professional. Professional rollers are really expensive. I'm not an expert, but I wanted to try to use something better, a better quality. So I took this one. I think it was about 40 euros or something like this. And also those were like 40-50 euros each. So yeah, super expensive, but I wanted to have better quality rollers. I have cheap rollers at home, and they have their issues. So they're not the super professional ones. I think the super professional ones cost double. Not sure, not an expert, but I'm happy to have something better to roll up the ink. I bought also this one too, for ink. When printing ink is stiff, then you have to work it out, make it smoother before you roll it. So I took it for this purpose, but I think it's also good for other things, to apply acrylic or oil paint in a creative way. I just took it to work out pigments and ink. And last, for the printing part, I think it's the last one. Those are calligraphy crayons. I'm not sure. I didn't even open it. So okay, let's open it with you. I would like to learn lithography, you know. I'd love to do it, but I don't know lithography. But the thing that I actually learned recently is the kitchen lithography, when you print on the aluminium foil. I know that there are loads of another extra use for this one, videos about it on YouTube, but it's not so easy. I did just one printing right now. And the thing is that you have to use oily crayons and pencils in order to print, both for lithography and kitchen lithography when you use aluminium foil. You know what? I just cannot open it. Sorry. And those are specifically, you can use oil pastels or some other oil crayons, but those are specifically for lithography, so I took it. I'm sorry, I just cannot open it. Why? So difficult. And I don't want to destroy it because it's cool to have. Oh, here it is. Voila. Okay. Oh, so this is it. I'll be happy to test it on my aluminium foil and see the result. I bought two kinds. One is like soft and one is hard. It's like for the pencils. When you have hard H pencils and soft B pencils, I think it's something like that. And it has different result on the printing. Alrighty, let's go further. So this one is the metallic roll. How do you call it in English? Sorry, I don't remember. Anyway, you can see it. I bought it because when I cut for example, I would like to cut paper to a smaller size with a cutter. Then the plastic one is not so good. And this one has also this part which is thicker that maybe will be better to cut out my paper. And also it's a good, you know, always a good quality ruler. How do you call it? It's always good to have. So I took it as well. All right, and that's the printing part. Let's switch to maybe pencils. So I'll be happy to test with you all those supplies, swatch it out, but first things that cannot be swatched for now, and then we will skip to the colors. brushes. So Bersner, that's the only thing that maybe I'm not so super satisfied. I mean, they have a lot of brushes, really thousands of brushes. Maybe not thousands, hundreds of brushes. But I'm not happy with the brands that they have, and not sure. I don't think they're super quality brushes. So I bought this those Bersner brushes. I already have one, and it's low, medium quality, maybe not low, but medium quality. It lasted, I think, 2 years before the tip started to be ruined, so it's still good, but not super happy, but it's medium quality and it's okay. So I took it because they didn't cost so much, and I was curious. I wanted to take the specific forms of the brush as well. This one is the classic one, the rounded classical brush. This one is cool to paint leaves, I suppose, and flowers. So I took it, since I'm making the course about pattern design for materials, and we paint a lot of flowers and leaves, so I think this will be very good for it. Also, I love the angled brush, dagger brush, so I bought this one, and the cat tongue brush, which I consumed the one that I have, so I took 2 sizes, one smaller, one bigger. I don't understand why they are so long. I mean, they're the same family of brushes, synthetic brushes, but they're longer. No idea why. Anyway, hope they will work fine. The other brush that I bought in Bersner is this calligraphic brush. I love calligraphic brush. I have already one, but this one has container for ink, so I was curious about it. As you can see, you can load it with ink, I think, so I will test it as well later on. And I also took some water brushes for traveling, and I took it in the Flying Tiger. And the Flying Tiger, because there were like 5 or 6 of them. I think there were other 2 inside. I throw out the box, and it costed like €5, so I was wondering, I mean, they cost a little, so I wanted to use them. Since I always search for the rectangle flat brushes to paint bigger swatches of paint, that's why I took it, and so far so good. They're a little bit hard to squeeze the water, but you know, they cost little, so they will probably last not so long, but you know, €5 is okay to give it a try. There are different tips and sizes. This is super tiny one, which is cool. You have this super big one, as I told you, to paint maybe backgrounds, to wet your paper, which I always miss it when I work outside and when I travel. So this is it. I will test them with you when I will test colors. So let's start with colors. I know this one is bamboo pen, which I love to paint strokes. This is a cool tool. My old one is consumed, so I decided to take new one and a smaller one, because the other one that I have is like twice big. All right, let's see what we have here. Oh, I'm a little bit tired. I don't know about you. I have 2 bottles of oils to paint, to work with oil paints and with oil pastels, sorry. So it's another thing that I will have to do a separate video about it, how I use it to work with oil color, not in the traditional way to paint on canvas, but actually I use it to draw it illustration, to use it in illustration. So linseed oil and poppy oil. This one was good, I think, the good price, because usually linseed oil costs like 10 euros, a smaller one, maybe not 10, but it's really expensive, and this one was 10 euros for the whole bottle, or 12 euros, something like that, and it's 250 milliliters, so it's cool. And the other one, then the other oil is poppy oil. I heard it's better because it doesn't leave the yellow color, and this one, when you dilute your oil colors with it, leaves this yellowish film. But this one was also expensive because it costed 10 euros only, this bottle. But I wanted to give it a try. Alrighty. So let's see what we have here. The brush, which is calligraphic brush with ink already in it. So I had this one once and I was super happy, but it got dry. I'm not sure if, actually maybe you can refill it with ink. So maybe, now I'm thinking, maybe I could have replaced the ink inside, but I'm not sure, you know. Anyway, I took new one. There are a lot of colors, but I took black one, and the Bösner version is cheaper, so I'm also curious, and I will see the quality of this cheaper version of the calligraphic brush. So again, I will test it with you, and maybe before jumping into colors, I'll show you papers that I took. Obviously there were like, oh, there's another pen, hundreds of different papers. There's like one part of this shop that is big as one big shop, and it has only, this part is only about papers, so you can imagine. But also they're very heavy, so even if some of the papers are cheaper there in the Bösner, I just took two kinds. This one is Hanemule, which is German paper, and I really like it, and it costs less than on Amazon. So I took only one. This one is hot pressed, but there are different kinds, different names of the watercolor paper, and different also kinds like hot pressed, cold pressed, etc. And it's really good. I think this costed about 12 euros. I remember times when it costed 10 or 9 euros, but it was like 4 years ago, so everything is more expensive now. And on Amazon I saw it cost 16 euros, so yeah, I took one, and this one costed, I think, 15 euros, but it has 50 sheets, so it's cheap. Let's say it's quite cheap. The quality probably is not so good, but I took it to make some less important illustration, maybe tests, maybe sketches, or just for mixed media. Sometimes, and when you work with gouache or mixed media, you don't want to use the super fancy aquarelle watercolor paper. So I will check it out. I'm curious about the quality of this one, how it will work. All right. So the favorite part, colors. Ta-da! So this one I discovered in this Idee shop, and I got really curious because it's like super cheap acrylics, Those costed 20 euros, and it's quite inexpensive because you have 3, 6, 9, 12 colors in it. And this is matte acrylic, so I'm curious to test it to see if it's actually matte, how opaque it is. I also loved the colors. There were sets. I took the classical sets of classical colors, but there were sets of blues, of reds, of pastel colors, and there were also, you could also buy them separately. So I have them. I took some colors, some more pastel colors. Oh, look at them, they're so cute. So I'm really curious how they will work. I think one costed 150, so it's really good price. So I'm really curious how they will work. So we will test them together. I will test them for the first time together with you. Oh, there's another one. And okay, let's see what we have here and then here. Pencils. I tested them already. I always buy pencils, even if I have lots of them. But I always try to buy new colors when I'm out, because also I live far away from shops where I could see and test personally the single color pencils. Okay, so I will test them with you. Let's put in here. Those are water-soluble watercolor pencils from Faber-Castell. And one is pastel pencil from Derwent. I really love this color. I also took single oil pastels from Caran d'Ache. Those are, for now, my favorite oil pastels. I don't know every brand. I didn't test every brand, but for now, from the one that I did use, those are my favorites. They're very opaque, they cover really well, they're very smooth, buttery. They're not as Sennelier, they are not so soft, but I even prefer it. Sennelier, in my opinion, maybe it's too soft and they consume really, really fast. And those are harder, but still very soft and buttery. And I love the pigments, I love the colors, I love everything about them. So I also, every time that I see them, I buy new colors, and hopefully one day I will have maybe all of them, because to buy the whole set is really, really expensive. So I took those colors. I will test them with you. I took 2 colors from Schminke pigment. Actually, there should be 3 of them. Yeah, you know what? I'll just throw it all. Sorry that I didn't do it at the beginning. Yes, there are 3 of them. Granulation colors. So those are the greens that I use a lot, and I ran out from this one. I finished, so I took new one. This one I think I don't have. This one, this is desert green, or maybe I have it. You know what? I don't. I try to take charts with me, the photos of my charts, and check what I actually have, because sometimes I buy double colors. But anyway, I'm not sure if I have this one. And this one, I wanted to test it. Haze pink, which was difficult to find, and they had it. So I'm super excited to test it out. And this one is Shire Blue, and I often run out of it, so I just took new one. And this is the receipt. You don't want to know it. Let's throw it away and don't think Don't think about it anymore. So again, in the Idea shop, they have the supplies that are cheaper, this lower quality, I guess. And I took this gouache, which is neon colors. I love neon colors. I have already different neon fluo colors already. But since it didn't cost a lot, I wanted to, and also the test showed that it was quite interesting. The colors were quite interesting. So yeah, I will have like the third neon pink in my set, in my colors. But never mind, I'm not quite normal, so you know. But I cannot wait to test it. Then I have those ones. I'm not sure. I think they will be cool to to apply the gesso. For example, I do this course with Esther MacLeod. If you don't know her, she's an excellent artist, and we apply fine pumice shell on the canvas before painting on it. And you can use or your credit card, your old credit card, but this one costed, it was cheap, so I took it. And also this one, not sure, probably it's still to apply. Maybe it's a thing for some craft stuff, but I will try to use it to apply this kind of stuff like pumice shell, or maybe it will be useful for printing, for mono printing, to make cool strokes, cool textures. That is something to explore in the separate video. And what else do we have here? I took this chalk. So I have this chalk in a traditional graphite black one, and I love it, but it's different kind. It's super soft. I think it's also called something like very soft version. This one, it's normal, it's not this super soft, but I was curious anyway, so I will test it with you. It's like chalk. I have two colors, Payne's Gray, sorry, which is quite actually really bluish one, and this one is ochre, dark ochre. Seems like sanguine orangey color, so we will test it as well. I took art graph, watercolor graphite. If you don't know this brand, I really recommend it. They have beautiful stuff all about watercolor graphites, more or less. A lot of different unusual supplies. So I love those. I have different colors and they create really beautiful granulation. So this is like watercolor but in different colors, and I didn't have the graphite one. I have the watercolor graphite, which is in the round metallic box, if you know it. Then you know what I'm talking about. I don't have it right now with me. But once I tested this one, and it was different. It was more intense. So even if it's really similar, then I wanted to have it because the effect was different from the other one, from the round watercolor, water-soluble graphite, from the art graph. Those are the same brand. Sorry if I'm confused, but if you know those supplies, maybe you know what I'm talking about. But I wanted to explain as much as I can, as detailed as I can, for the people that maybe don't know. Maybe you don't know it. So yeah, I wanted to be as clear as possible. But if you have any questions, then drop them below in the comments, and then I'll come back to you, and I'll be happy to explain more. But obviously there are loads of things here. There's some leaf. It is autumn now. It is November, and I really love autumn leaves, so I always pick it. And yeah, another pastel. So this one, yeah, those costed me really a lot, because it's crazy how expensive they are. And I think that couple of years, no couple, but maybe 4 years ago, when I first went to Bosner, they costed €7. And I'm thinking until now that I could have bought then every color when it costed €7. Now it costed almost €9, 8.60 or something, or 8.90. I'm not sure. So €7 was a lot. Even it's also a lot of money for just a thing like this, but still. Anyway, since I was a whole week in Berlin, so first I took some colors and then I turned back and took other colors, and don't ask me why. Sometimes I don't have new clothes, I have to buy new glasses for me, but instead I'm buying new art supplies. So maybe not a good example to take. Anyway, why I took them? Because I love them. They are so good. I really love to draw with them, to apply them. They're like, some of them are already opened. Yeah, this one is opened. They're like pastels, but in this form of solid pad. I'm not sure if it's like shades for eyes or powder for face. Actually, it seems like it's a cosmetic, but it's not. It's not to paint your face. It's a pastel in this form of this creamy, soft film that you can apply. We will test them if you don't know them. I already have some colors, so hopefully I didn't double buy them. More or less I remember the colors I have, but still not 100% sure. Oh my gosh, I'm running out of voice, and I hope you're still here with me. The last thing is this Derwent Inktense set. I already painted with them during the flight yesterday, and I love it. I love it. So I opened it and I also threw away the box. Sorry, but this set is number 1. There are different sets, and I think it has a weasel as a drawing. If I have a photo, I'll drop it in the video. It has a brush inside. So it was divided, this brush was divided, but once you fill it with water and make it a whole brush, it doesn't fit. It's absurd. I'm not sure why. The other set that I have doesn't have this problem, it still fits. This one doesn't. Derwent, why? So I'm not sure about this. Maybe it's to clean the brush. Not sure about the use of this sponge, but I think it's to clean your brush. And this is, I think it's classical set, because it has different kind of yellows, the cool, the warm yellow, the same for red, cool, and warm red, and the same for blues and greens, but you have also kiwi, so quite classical set. There was also some other set, but I took this one. Last year I saw the sets that were divided by themes. For skin, they had the rose colors, like to paint skin, neutral colors. And I could have bought them because I cannot find it nowhere else. Even online I struggle to find it. And I wanted to have them, but I thought, oh, maybe next year. And I don't find it anymore. So I'm not sure if you know where you can find this kind of set. Alright guys, so this is the whole thing that I took, super happy about it. And so let's finish it now, and I will test the things with you in the other lessons, which will come soon. For now, it's all. If you have any questions for now, drop them below. And yeah, let's see you. Bye.